Hi, this is Jhonna, and welcome back to Jhonna Unfiltered. So today, I want to talk about something a lot of INFJs notice, but don't always say out loud. And that is the comment section. More specifically, INTP comment behavior. If you've been in the MBTI space for a while, you already know this pattern. You watch a video, you feel something, you relate to it, then you scroll down to the comments, and suddenly your mood changes. You hesitate. You start thinking, should I even comment? Most of the time, you don't. You stay quiet. You observe. That's very INFJ. And honestly, that makes sense. Introverts, in general, don't always feel the need to comment. We process things internally. We reflect. We observe patterns. We don't always need to announce our thoughts. But at the same time, the comment section can feel like a safe space or a battlefield. From what I've observed, INTPs are one of the most active types in comment sections. Not all of them, but a noticeable number. And here's the important part. They don't all behave the same way. There are healthy ones and unhealthy ones. And if you don't know the difference, it can feel like all of them are harsh, cold, or rude. So, let's break it down in a simple way. No heavy terms. Just real talk. Let's start with the healthy INTP. These are the ones you actually want in your comment section. They make discussions better. A healthy INTP is curious. Not arrogant. Curious. They don't come in trying to destroy your point. They come in trying to understand it. Instead of saying, you're wrong, they say things like, interesting. How does that connect with this idea? Or, can you explain that part more? You feel the difference right away. No attack. No pressure. It feels like a conversation, not a competition. A healthy INTP is not trying to win. They're trying to explore. Another sign is how they speak. They use soft language like, I think, in my opinion, from what I understand. It may sound simple, but it matters. It shows they accept that they don't know everything. They leave space for other views. They don't act like they own the truth. And when they correct something, they do it gently. Instead of, that's completely wrong, they might say, I read something different about that. You might find this interesting. Same idea, different tone. One builds connection. The other pushes people away. Healthy INTPs can also be funny. Not in a mean way. They joke about themselves. They know they can be very logical sometimes, and they are okay with that. They are self-aware. They don't take everything too seriously. Most importantly, they respect the space. Even if they don't fully believe in MBTI or similar topics, they still understand the space is for sharing thoughts and experiences. So, they don't come in just to shut people down. They engage with respect. Now, let's go to the other side. The unhealthy INTP, or what I would call the online bully type. And I'll be direct here because most people have seen this before. These are the people who don't come to learn. They come to win. To prove something. To feel superior. You can usually spot them quickly. First sign, intelligence shaming. Instead of talking about the idea, they attack the person's thinking. Comments like, this doesn't make sense. You clearly don't understand. It's not helpful. It's not neutral. It puts the other person down. That's a red flag. Second sign, name dropping. They use big terms like cognitive bias, psychological effects, and more, but not to explain. They use it to shut the conversation down. It becomes, I know big words, so I am right. But when you look closely, they often don't even explain the terms clearly. It's just used like a shield. Knowledge should explain things, not intimidate people. Third sign, absolute truth mindset. They speak like their opinion is the only correct answer. No space for different views. No space for personal experience. Everything becomes black and white. And if you disagree, you are wrong. That's not logic. That's ego. Real logic allows discussion. It doesn't end it. Then there are personal attacks. Instead of talking about the topic, they attack the person. Intelligence. Personality. Intentions. At that point, it's no longer a discussion. It becomes negativity. And that is usually the moment to stop engaging. Because the goal is no longer understanding. Another thing I've noticed is context ignoring. Even if you clearly say, this is just my opinion, they still act like you are claiming to be an expert. They twist meaning to continue the argument. That's not curiosity. That's control. So let's simplify it. Think of your comment section like your house. A healthy INTP is a guest who sits down and asks thoughtful questions. Maybe a bit nerdy, maybe deep, but respectful. You enjoy the conversation. But the unhealthy one walks in, criticizes your house, says your ideas are wrong, and insults others before even greeting anyone. That's not a guest. That's disruption. And yes, you have the right to protect your space. That's what hide and block features are for. Not to silence people, but to protect peace. To be clear, this is not about hating INTPs. There are many amazing INTPs. Very smart, very thoughtful, very respectful. This is about behavior, not labels. Any type can be healthy or unhealthy. Even INFJs. Sometimes people are just having a bad day. Sometimes something triggers them, and they react. That moment does not always define who they are. So take this as a guide, not a judgment. At the end of the day, your voice still matters. Confidence in a comment does not always mean correctness. Big words do not always mean truth. You are allowed to share your thoughts. You are allowed to take space. You are allowed to protect your peace. So now I want to ask you, have you ever read a comment that made you stop yourself from speaking? And what kind of comment makes you feel safe enough to share your thoughts? Thanks for watching. If this video resonated with you, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I want to be upfront and share that I use this text-to-speech voice to tell my stories because as a full-time ESL teacher, I have to be very careful with my vocal cords. Managing vocal nodules means I have to save my voice for my students, but I didn't want that to stop me from sharing these unfiltered thoughts with you. I'm Jhonna, and I'm currently working toward my goal of 1,000 subscribers so I can finally monetize this channel and turn this passion into a sustainable part of my future. This is my diary of solo living here in the Philippines, and your support, whether through a comment or a sub, helps me keep this channel growing. If you would like to help out even more, you can check out the Buy a Treat for My Pets link in the description. My dogs definitely appreciate the love. Make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss the next update. Thank you for being such an important part of this journey. I'm Jhonna, and I will see you in the next one.